damn good time. It's a damn good time. And it's a podcast. A damn good time podcast.
Super podcast.
Yeah. Damn good time podcast. Damn good time podcast. The timing is off there. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. I'm Steve Schaefer.
I'm Cody Adams.
And this is a damn good time podcast.
Hit him with it.
Yeah, baby. You're back to just the gruesome twosome.
Gross twosome, full fact.
We hope you guys liked the episode last week with our guest.
If you haven't seen it, go see it.
Go check it out. It was a good one.
Scott Paris is pretty nice.
Yeah, Scott Paris is a cool fucking dude.
Pretty nice dude.
Yeah, I liked having him in the studio. He
Fun.
even said he loved being in there with us
Yeah.
too. So
Yeah.
he even said like, pretty sure we had a damn good time.
Got him.
He's got the branding ingrained in him. You know, he figured it out.
Hell yeah. It's pretty awesome that once you come on and you get to talk with us, it's
Yeah.
hopefully he wants to come back.
Well, and it's one of those things too where we hope you guys think we're pretty cool fucking dudes, which we are. You know, not to float my boat or anything, but it's also nice having another person in here, a little different perspective, and then different stories than the same ones we kind of may or may not regurgitate every
few weeks.
Yeah, repeat constantly.
Who knows what we did, 6 months ago? We don't know.
Right. I
We
don't
don't
remember that.
We don't know.
We're probably going to talk to you about AI again.
But I mean, I think as any podcast, right? If you listen to Joe Rogan, for example,
Yes.
you're going to hear him talk about the same shit he heard from weeks ago. He's going to re-bring it back up to somebody to hear somebody else's opinion. So it's kind of
yeah, it's funny that you bring that up because there are some podcasts where you listen to it's like, oh, you guys are actually talking about that again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Rogan's really good at it because, like, it seems like he always has a different guest on all the time.
Right.
So he's like, you know that monkeys, they'll rip your balls off. Like, yes, I've heard it on 1,000 different episodes, Rogan. The monkeys will rip your balls off. But then sometimes he still gets that guest like, what, really?
yeah,
You know?
He's like, yeah, you didn't listen to that episode. What?
Yeah.
You don't listen to all my shit.
Yeah. You don't listen to my podcast?
You do like 3 a week, 4 a week, dude. Like nobody keep up with that.
Yeah, motherfuckers on like thousands.
Yeah.
Actually, not to get sidetracked, but I heard him on one earlier this week. I forget who he was talking to, and she's like, the guest he had, she was like, have you ever heard of this guy? He's like, actually, that's the shitty thing about having like 3,000 is I forget sometimes who I talk to. I'll see somebody in the news or something like, that seems like an interesting person. I should have him on. And then I Google him and like, oh, fuck, that was like 100 episodes. They were in here. Fuck.
I already had him on.
Yeah. We don't have that problem yet.
Right.
But yeah, man, I just want to
Wait,
start
who
off.
are you?
Yeah. I want to start off by saying, yes, that was a damn good time with Scott Paris. I would like to plug his book signing, which is happening tomorrow, which this podcast will come out 2 days after, so that's null and void. But he's doing a book signing up in Maslin. Yes,
You forgot.
we'll plug
Here's
the book again. A guitar called Harry V and the cover band Conundrum.
Put that right up there.
And I'm planning on going up and getting mine signed tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah. I might actually have Sarah take yours too, so you can get yours signed.
Yeah. Wait, he didn't already sign these?
I don't think so.
Oh, son of a bitch. We got words now.
They were free though. And that's one thing too, because I bought it.
Let's check.
I bought it on digital. No, but we got the
nice
bookmark. Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah.
Because I bought it on digital and I wanted to read it before he came on, but I suck at reading. So I only got like 15% of the way through or whatever that Amazon Kindle told me.
Gotcha.
And then he brought us the books on the podcast, and I was like, I didn't know how any of this worked because I was planning on coming to the book signing. I was going to buy one then to support you and have you sign it. And he's like, well, no, these are just gifts to you. I'm like, well, I wanted to support you and buy one. Don't just give me one, you know, dude?
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe he'll have a tip jar or something up there.
Right.
And honestly, like most of the shows he does, he's always got like a Venmo up and shit. So you can always tip him there. And I've done that before and stuff. So, but I fucking love the dude. I love supporting
You're
him.
advertising for him right now. That's
Yeah.
free money.
Yeah. But dude, just after that, we rolled into your 40th fucking birthday party.
Yes, we did.
I want to recap that motherfucker because
Okay.
that was a damn good time.
That was a damn good time.
Almost too much of a damn good time.
It was. I think pretty much perfect.
Yeah.
I don't think it could have went any better. I don't
Started
know.
off a little slow, a couple boys sitting around smoking brisket, and then the guests started coming through, kind of nice and easy pace. And then I feel like all of a sudden I turn around, and what we probably had like 60 motherfuckers up in this bitch.
I don't know. There's 60.
Really? Like
There was probably 30.
I think it was more. Well, because at one point Sarah was like, "This is the most people we've ever had on our deck. Are we sure it can handle this weight?" And I never really thought about that because everybody because we were hanging out in the backyard smoking brisket. We put the food out in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And there were people meandering through the house, but mostly everybody centralized on that fucking deck for the longest time.
Right.
I was like, yeah, we've never had this many people on the deck. Hopefully it's not like one of those things like we're in the newspaper tomorrow
The
because...
deck failed and
yeah,
fell. And
yeah.
broken limbs and
Yeah.
blood everywhere.
And then it rained and it kicked everybody inside. And we didn't let that stop us.
Yeah.
But a lot of motherfuckers here. So many, too, that there's so many people that I saw. I was like, hey, nice to see you. Thanks for coming over. Yeah. Food here, everybody. And then I didn't talk to him once again the entire night.
Right.
And then you get that kind of hangover anxiety. I was like, well, I didn't really got a chance to talk to him too much. Did I snub them? Or was I like, like,
I remember our boy Andy, A.K. Scooter, stopped by.
yeah.
For a
That's
little
his
bit.
real name?
Yeah, Andy, yeah.
Never knew that. I never knew that. He's a scooter, dude.
Yeah. He stopped by and said hi, gave him a hug, and all that. And then all of a sudden he's leaving. I'm like, oh, shit, man, I barely had to talk to you. I'm sorry.
Right.
And he's like, you're good, man. There's a lot of people here. So it's just like,
Even like Wheels and Karen, I saw them for like 30 fucking seconds.
right.
I know they were here for a while, but I only saw them for a little bit.
Right. And by that midpoint, I'm half a case deep.
Yeah.
Just dancing around, having a fun time,
Rocking it.
talking to everybody, having a good time.
Yeah.
And then everybody, the majority of people dispersed
Yeah.
that weren't either staying or didn't live close by or whatever. And then it was kind of like, all right, now it's party time. Crank up the tunes, get drinks
Yeah.
flowing, some more. And then we're dancing around, being goofy, singing, having a damn good time in the basement. So it was a blast.
Yeah, because I even think when the party kind of started, I started with beer whenever I fired up smoker, probably 10 a.m. before anybody else came over. It's like, I'm out here smoking
Yeah,
a brisket.
They
I
go
gotta have a
hand in
beer.
hand. They
Yeah,
go hand in hand.
And then whenever the party really started kicking, I had a few shots, and then I'm like, fucking pace yourself, dude. It's going to be a long haul. You know?
Right.
So I remember like after a couple shots, it's like nothing but beer or fucking seltzers or something.
Yeah.
Stick it soft. And I was constantly carrying around my cup of water. I must have filled this thing like 8 times. Just
Nice.
like for beer, chug a bunch of water. Seltzer, chug a bunch of water. And it was like till midnight. At midnight, then we move into liquor. Because at midnight it was Jimmy Buffett's, what's that song called? A Pirate's Life.
Pirate looks at 40.
Pirate Looks at 40, yeah. So we did a shot to that. That's your favorite song. We all kind of sang along to that, had our arms around each other, dancing and swaying.
Yeah.
And then I leaned into the whiskey
Yeah.
and still made it till like 4 a.m. And I remember 95% of that night.
Yeah, I crashed out a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
I was a little more responsible this birthday.
Yeah, because I think you probably went out like 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then maybe for only like an hour or so, it was like me, Sarah, Brady, Ty,
Yeah.
just they're still sitting there
Yeah.
chilling, hanging and banging, and then finally it's like we need to go to bed.
Yeah. It's like I didn't want to see a sunrise again. Like my 30th, we saw
Yeah.
the sun come up. I'm like, no, I got to go home and kids and do all that. I'm like, thinking in my head, I'm like, yeah, no, getting too old now. Time to go to bed because not tomorrow's gonna be
Yeah,
miserable.
which I know you pieced out of the house early. I don't know what time you guys left, but I woke up and Brady and Ty were moving, and they had out, and I forget we were doing something, And then me and you started texting each other. Oh, no, I called you because somebody left something here. And I was like, hey, did you happen to grab it? Was your shit?
Yeah.
And when you answer, you're like, oh, I just woke up. I think it was like 4 in the afternoon. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. That's how you.
Yeah, no. Went back. The in-laws were still at the house. And it's like, and they're watching the kids the whole time. They watch them overnight. And it's like, all right, got the kids again. Kids are like, they've been up running around. I'm like, all right, guys, time for it. And like, at that point, I'm struggling because got a few hours of sleep because we woke up pretty early.
Yeah.
And left to get back there to relieve them. And then I was like, I only got a few hours of sleep. 3-4 hours, whatever. But still, I'm just exhausted. I'm like, oh god, like playing with the kids, doing everything with the kids, and it's like, all right, time for nap time.
Still
kids.
doing your due diligence, be a good dad.
Yeah, so we put them down, and me and Steph like just jumped in bed like, we can just nap. We can just nap for like an hour or two, please, for love of God, just give us an hour or two so we can like get refreshed.
Yeah,
it ended up being like 3 hours because the kids napped hard, which was awesome.
They were probably still amped up from hanging with grandma and grandpa and shit.
They woke back up, and I'm like, yes,
yes, scored.
Yes. And so then I felt a lot better. Because
Yeah.
now, hitting 40 in the last few years, my hangover was just weird. Like, I don't get like that crippling hangover that's like, oh, I can't do anything. What I feel like was maybe 4 years ago. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just so sick or whatever. I get just complete exhaustion.
Yeah.
Like, I just need some more sleep.
Yeah, because I feel like in your 20s, you can work through a hangover.
Oh, yeah.
We did it all the fucking time.
2, 3. I can put 3 hours of sleep. I can wake back up, crack another beer. Let's rock and roll.
Yeah, in your 30s, you can still do it, but like you have more headache.
You feel terrible.
Yeah, more headache, more kind of body aches. And you're now like, once you get your late 30s, 40s, it's like, actually, I don't feel bad, but I need to sleep.
Yeah, I'm exhausted right now. I don't know what it is. I just want to. I like barely keep my eyes open.
Even
right
if
now.
somebody would have texted me and be like, it's fucking 80 degrees out, weather's gorgeous, let's go golfing. Like, I would love to.
Yeah.
But I need to sleep. Because I think before I talked to you, when you were taking your nap, I was actually taking a nap. And I do this thing now where I don't go horizontal like on a couch. I'll hit a recliner.
Yeah.
And for some reason, like if I sleep on my back, I'm snoring, and I woke myself up because I was snoring so fucking hard. Like,
Same.
like it's, you're snoring bad when you wake yourself up.
Yeah.
Like,
Same. So it's like hard to take a nap because I was laying on my back. So I'm like, oh, I'm flicking my tongue back.
Yeah.
Like now I need this mouth guard thing, or I need this tape, or I need some other
Whatever.
bullshit that everybody's coming out with. It's like, no, I probably just need to not drink, and that would solve all that. But it was my 40th, so
I did hear because I'd like to try the mouth guards and all the different shit.
yeah.
Honestly, if I just lost weight, whenever I was thinner, when I was like 210 instead of I'm sitting at 260 right now. When I was thinner, I didn't snore as much. But I've heard about the mouth guards, and I've always wanted to try one. But I've heard some other podcasters say that they wore them for so long that they fucked up their bite. So it actually almost like braces that move their jaw to a different spot, and it fucked their bite up. So then they had to get adult braces at like 45 years old just to fix the bite that they fucked up because they didn't want to snore and shit.
Well, you're essentially wearing like an Invisalign.
Yeah, yeah.
Your teeth are going to how that guard's going.
Yeah.
Maybe you just need Invisalign. Maybe like, my teeth are a little bit crooked, right? And they're like, no, they're perfect, but they're a little bit crooked.
Yeah. And it's
Or
something
can you
about
get me something with my teeth implanted into it?
and I've always tried to figure that out too. It's like, where does my jaw lie that causes me to snore?
Yeah.
So like even whenever if I know I'm like I'm gonna take a nap here, sitting reclined.
Yeah.
It's like, do I need to lean my head back more? Because like you think like CPR, like you open the airwaves, you fucking tilt their head way back to make a straight line there. I'm like, maybe that's what I need to like lean my head way back, somehow keep my jaw forward or something, and then I still wake myself up snoring.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
But yeah, so we did that fucking 40 party.
Yeah, we had smoked brisket. You did bacon burn-ins. We had poke, tuna
That
poke.
tuna poke was a fantastic snack the next day.
We had some street corn dip.
Street corn dip was good.
My brother brought awesome smoked baked beans.
There were
Sorry,
two
everybody
different-
brought baked beans.
There were
It's
two
a
different
baked
kinds
bean
of,
cook-off.
Yeah, there were two different kind of baked beans. They were both great in their own right.
Noodles,
One had a little smoky or salty or savourier, and the other one had a little sweetness behind it. They were both fantastic.
Yeah.
But it was nice having two, because it was like,
That was the fun part, I think, too, because it was like, it was my 40th, and I was like, originally it was like, we're gonna do this really fancy dinner.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna throw $100 in, and we're gonna buy the most expensive shit. And then I started thinking about, it, I'm like, well, no, that kind of sucks, because one, I got to collect money from everybody. I'm gonna go drop like $2,000 on food,
yeah,
and then I got to collect money from everybody, and then you just can't just randomly invite people.
right.
Because then somebody shows up and they're not accounted for a plate, then you're kind of like in a weird
Well,
situation.
yeah, we all had this really good dinner, but you can't have anything. You didn't.
Right. Oh, here's some leftover potatoes.
Or if every
Like,
single one of those motherfuckers that you texted chipped in, I would have been sitting out there cooking steaks the entire fucking time.
Right. Or it'd have been a lot of work.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
lot more work than putting a brisket and you sous vide it for 36 hours,
36 hours sous vide,
like 6 hour smoke on it.
6 hours smoke, and then maybe like an hour or two in the oven.
Yeah.
I don't even think it needed that hour or two in the
No,
oven,
probably not.
because it came out tender as fuck.
Yeah, it's so tender. Like,
Yeah.
well, before
And I had a cheap temp probe,
yeah.
and I think that was the problem, because it's like, well, everything I read online says like 190.
Well, I think the
without-
sous vide process already took care of the tenderness.
Yeah,
Because it
100.
already broke all that down.
100%.
So you didn't need to hit that 190, 200 mark
Right.
internal, because it was already there.
Yeah.
And God was probably actually fighting to get there, because it was all already broken down. So you couldn't have that as much heat penetration without drying it out there
Right.
at that situation.
But
So,
that bitch was so tender and so moist.
yeah.
And then my dog ate like 3 pounds of it.
And all the fatty good parts that
Yeah.
we set aside for ourselves. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, but this
Because for the
so good.
if you're listening, you've had a brisket, you always or you go to a place and they're like, do you want lean or juicy, or which is basically, do you want the non-fatty or the fatty part?
Yeah.
And so most people tend to stick towards the lean or maybe like a mid.
Yeah.
And we had that super fucking fatty fat end.
Yeah.
And there's probably like 2.5, 3 pounds of that sitting there. And then I came up at one point after we were all down in the basement, like hanging out and shit. I came up to kind of slowly clean, and I noticed it was all gone. I'm like, there's not enough motherfuckers here that like the fatty part of the brisket. That was kind of like, I was like, the whole time I'm watching, like, nobody's eating it. That's gonna be our treat.
Yeah, it'll
You
be
know?
like tomorrow's leftover.
It's
like,
totally gonna be a
so
me,
good.
me
Yeah.
and Cody treat. And then it was gone, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I could see like the dog tongue lick marks on where she got it off the fucking plate. And then of course she was shitting liquid everywhere the next day, so that was
Everywhere, I'm
fucking
sure.
terrible. But yeah, but then we luckily still had enough left over that
There's a lot left over.
I put it in two. And I don't know if I even talked to you about this.
No, but my wife, being my wife, she's big about leftovers. She's
Yeah.
big about and she knew like that night, like, we ain't doing shit.
Yeah.
Like, I did stop at, she had me stop at Drug Mart. Well, I had to run and get her Burger King breakfast, I think.
Yeah. BK breakfast is
So
clutch.
ran, got BK breakfast. I didn't get anything because I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like,
Yeah.
I'm feeling good. I'm not about to put a bunch of greasy food in my stomach right at this moment because, just drank all night. And then she's like, what are you going to do for dinner? But she's always one of those ones that's pre-prepared to like, well, I'm going to get the rest. If I got more macaroni salad left in that fridge, I'm grabbing that out.
Yeah.
Like I brought, I'm going to get some of that home. But she's always good about like putting a little bit aside. If it runs out, she'll put it back out. But she's always good about putting a little bit aside because she's like, tomorrow's going to be so much better.
Yeah.
It's going to be like
A little
perfect.
snacky.
Tomorrow's going to be good.
Yeah.
And she went in there and she's like, there's 2 of these takeout containers. You think one's for us? I'm like, oh, 100%.
Yes.
I'm like, Steve didn't tell me, but there's no reason they packed 2. And like, we open them up and I'm like, oh, there's baked beans in both of them. There's
Yeah.
like everything's in both of them. Like, this is made for 2 different people.
I literally divvied it up for me and you.
And I'm like, I'm 100% sure one of these is for us.
yeah,
And she
yeah.
was like, are you sure? I'm like, yes. He
Yeah.
would not put these in 2 containers. For
Yeah,
any
because
reason.
like I went up and obviously shout out to my wife Sarah. When we have parties and shit like that, she goes at one point she'll go into drunk mode and just disappear for an hour and completely scrub the kitchen head to toe, fucking clean everything.
yeah.
I knew that was coming, but I was like, this time I'm like, I'm gonna make it easier on her. So I went up, and actually, Tyler were in the kitchen hanging out, and so I started kind of just picking up some plates here, doing this. It's like, oh, let me divvy up. Like, I'm gonna make Cody a little container, and I'm gonna make me a little container, and divvy everything up kind of equally, and then put the dishes that belong to people here, and like ours go in the sink.
But that was like not a little container because it was like 4
Yeah,
pounds of
you
brisket.
still-
each
yeah,
still.
yeah, we still have like 4 pounds of brisket, like 2 cups of each beans.
I ended up freezing a nice big hunk of it, and stuff's like, "Why are you freezing it?" I'm like, "Because I'm gonna pull that out later." Because like at that point, I cut off like I ate 4 or 5 more pieces, fried them up and stuff, and I'm like, "Oh, it's so good." But once you eat so much brisket, it's like
Yeah.
all that fatty brisket. It's like, do I really want more brisket? I
Yeah.
still got ribeyes in here I need to cook. I still got burgers I need to cook. I'm like, I'm gonna freeze this brisket, and I'm gonna pull it out, and I'm gonna make some chili, or I'm gonna make some brisket pasta,
Or just
not pasta,
or just
really
fry it again.
Just fry it again.
Sit
Yeah,
in a
it's
pan.
gonna be like, what can I use? Oh, it's more brisket.
I actually ate the rest of mine today.
Yeah,
I had like about 1 pound left that I ate for dinner today. But with the two boys, they attacked it pretty good.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah,
And the salmon poke, you should have taken some of that.
tuna.
Sorry, not salmon, tuna. But that, because I went for that first. When I woke up the next day, I was like, "What?" I'm like, "I know I got my brisket." I'm like, "Oh, Cody took his. Awesome!" Like he saw it. He got the message. But the tuna poke was still in there. I'm like, "This is gonna go bad quicker than anything
Oh
else."
yeah, 100%.
So I attacked that, and then even because I traveled this week and I came home today and it was still in the fridge. It's like, I don't know if Sarah was afraid to throw it away, didn't know what it was. I'm like, okay, this is definitely bad.
That's not good. Like you didn't eat it again, did you? That's not good.
There was a part of me
That what
that was like, just smell it. I'm like, no, don't even open it. It was in like you know how you have like good Tupperware and then you buy those like take-alongs that are like kind of shittier. They're still reusable. It was in one of those, so it's like, I can just throw this the fuck away. It's fine. Like, don't even open it. Don't get that maybe god awful stench that may or may not be there.
But most of the time I still
about it,
smell it.
dude.
I still smell it. I'm so weird. It's like chicken in the fridge. I know it's bad. It was in there way too long. We just never got to it because life happened, and it's like there's chicken because we always buy like a huge pack of chicken and like throw it in freezer bags and then freeze like half of it to 3/4 of it, then throw a couple breasts in.
Keep a couple freshies out in the fridge because you're gonna grill it off later or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna do something with it, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, shit, that's been there 5 days, or almost 6. Wait, how long did that go? They put that in there, and then you don't remember.
Yeah.
And I'm like, crack it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and nothing smells worse to me.
Or sometimes you get it and it's not bad. I'll give it a rinse. That's
Yeah.
fine.
I'm like, there's a little tinge, there's a little tinge there, but that's probably just the stuff in the bottom.
Yeah.
It's still fine. It's still fine.
But I knew if I smelled it and smelled okay, I would have ate it and it probably wouldn't have been good. Like I'm not ready to sign myself up for this,
Right.
you know. But yeah, so
No, I would have never ate that. I'd have been like, no, that's trash.
yeah. But anyway, dude, that fucking I think when you were sitting there making it too, I'm like, do you ever just sit there and think about how lucky you are that you know how to fucking cook?
I'm like, well, this isn't hard.
Because I grabbed a couple sauces, like a little soy sauce, a little hoisin, some sriracha, and I think like a teriyaki. I'm like, yeah, man. And I sliced up an onion. You cut up the fish, put it in a bowl, and then you just grabbed a bunch of shit, kind of dumped it in. Sesame oil too. That was the kicker on it too.
That's a big one, yeah.
And we're like, all right, let's try this. And the first bite is like, fuck,
Perfect.
it doesn't need anything. It
That's perfect.
doesn't need anything. Like, do you ever just sit there and think like, man, I could take like 5 fucking ingredients and make something taste perfect.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
That's what our buddy Tyler always says. Like, I'm the king of spices because, like, one, I always have a drawer just way too full of spices.
Yeah.
When I build this new kitchen, that's going to be. I need to incorporate an amazing spice rack in. Anyways, we'll talk about that in a minute. But he always said I'm the king of spices because I'm a king of seasoning.
Yeah.
Because it's like whenever I season something, it's just sometimes I go too salty though, but most of the time it's spot on.
Right.
Just I have a sense for like this is the right amount to
Yeah.
put into this. You know?
Yeah.
And you just acquire that over time. I think you have it too. It's just like
eyeball 90% of the shit you do.
yeah.
Or I'll look up a recipe and I'll get like the
Yeah.
broad stroke of what it is, and like all that makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe try to look at some proportions, and then you just eyeball it.
Yeah.
I don't measure fucking shit out unless I'm baking. You know,
Yeah.
baking's more of a science. You got to kind of follow that
Fucking
shit.
Stupid.
But I fucking love baking though. But still, like,
I'm not getting it. All right, teaspoon. Yep, we got it.
yeah. But I've also gotten to where I've tested myself, and I'll pour a teaspoon out into my hand. I'm like, that's a teaspoon. I'm like, let me check, and I actually grab the measuring teaspoon. I'm like, yeah, boy, still got
I
it.
bet I could get pretty close with a tablespoon and teaspoon for the
Yeah.
most part.
Yeah.
Just in like a free pour.
Mm-hmm.
I bet I could get pretty close.
Yeah, I know you can.
'Cause you just visually see it, so you're just like, yeah, okay. Da-da-da-da.
Yeah. But that being said, too, I want to touch on a couple other things about that party. Not only was obviously the main focus was 40
All right.
from Cody motherfucking Adams, but I also feel like we were celebrating. You're taking on a new venture in life.
Yeah.
You're getting a new job.
Yeah, I don't remember if we talked about it a couple weeks ago. But yeah, I'm starting a new job with our buddy Eric that's been on the show before
Yeah,
a
the
long time
wheels.
ago. Yep, for Belmont Properties, so doing property management. So getting out of the food game again in my life.
Yeah.
Got out once, went into surveying, got back in the food game, and now I'm leaving the food game again and
Yeah.
going into property management. So a whole nother thing. I did really well at surveying, I thought.
Yeah.
Learned a lot of technology and different things there. Became kind of a crew chief, kind of a quality control guy for a surveying company.
Yeah.
Didn't know what I was doing,
You figured it out.
but I figured it out eventually. So now, yeah, I'm going to be taking a role in property management, and kind of new technologies rolling out and some stuff in the company. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be in charge of a lot of that stuff, I think, and kind of, I don't know yet, I haven't got my feet wet in there, but my ideas.
First
and-
day starts when this podcast drops, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I'll be a day in maybe. Just kind of something different. So, my buddy Eric's been wanting me for years now
Right.
to come and work with him. And then finally, I was like, "All right, you want to do this? Let's
Fuck it.
do it. So
Let's go."
let's figure it out." And in turn,
Yep.
now my job at Cisco, they need somebody to fill in.
Yep.
And they said, "Do you know anybody?" I said, "Well, I know some people. I know some people."
Yep.
So I come to your wife and I said, "Hey,
Yep.
would you be interested in going to Cisco? Because you guys had applied before at one time." And
Yeah. Well, and she's been looking to get out of because she was a general manager at a restaurant, and so her busy times were always nights and weekends.
right.
And she's been kind of dabbling in the idea of finding something that's more Monday through Friday. And I even tried to get her up at where I work and shit. And so that came up, and like they immediately hopped on it.
Right.
Like she got an interview on Monday and got an offer on Friday.
No, I sent so I was talking to my old boss now.
Yeah, boss at the time.
He's like, I was like, "Hey, here, I'm gonna send you over a resume. Check it out. I think it should be a good fit." And I sent it to him, and he texted me back literally within 2 minutes and was like, "Is she interested?" And I said, "She's very interested."
Yes, wildly.
And he said, "I'm going to call her." And I think within 5 minutes he was calling her,
yeah.
because they need somebody down in our area. So like where we live is kind of, we're a little bit further away from a bigger city.
Yeah.
We don't live in the biggest city by any means.
Well,
we live in
we're-
a very small city.
And we're kind of
so-
outside of the corporate
Yeah.
structure too, so it's harder to find candidates in that area.
Right.
You know.
It's hard to pluck somebody out of here that's going to work. At least in their mind, I think. They might think we're all backwoods hillbillies down here, but
They're not
Then they come-
entirely wrong.
they come and visit, and they're like, "Oh, this is really nice," and there's a lot of stuff going on. I'm like,
Cute
"Yes,
little fucking town. man.
yes." But anyway, so yeah, that happened, which was good. So I'm taking a new job. Sarah's taking my job, and then
Yeah,
our good buddy at the same time, I took this job. I talked. I talk to a lot of buddies.
Yeah,
This is obviously a
friend of a
circle
friend of a
type thing.
friend of a friend.
I-
We're all fucking tight.
I knew one buddy who was wanting to change jobs, and I said, "Hey, are you interested in leaving your job to come to this one?" And he's like, "Yeah." So essentially, he's going to be working for the same company I'm going to. He left
Yeah.
his job, and now he's going to be working there too.
So we had 3 people celebrating new jobs that day too.
yeah, in our tight little circle, which I mean, it's not tight little circle. We got a lot of friends. But,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we're all tight together. You know,
I mean, obviously we had like 30 something people here for my birthday. So
yeah.
and
And then the cool thing is, on top of that, my wife puts in a 2-week, and her boss lets her finish out the shift on a Friday, the Friday before your party,
right,
and then goes home, starts texting her the nastiest shit, terrible shit,
yeah,
and told her to fuck off, and all this, like in so many words, basically told her to fuck off. So at that point, he basically fired her. So she was able to hang out with us all day Saturday.
yeah. We won't say the name, but if you know where it's Sarah,
Oh no, yeah,
Sarah,
no, I'll
where-
fucking say it because I owe this dude a hit in the face.
no, but let's
I
we don't want to.
go back in past podcasts. You can tell that she worked at Craft Bistro and
If
Lounge
you know where his wife
in New
worked,
Philadelphia. We've
All
said
right,
it.
never
We've
mind.
said it on previous. We've said it on previous podcasts that she worked at Craft Bistro and Lounge in New Philadelphia under Eric Samudio. We won't tell you now, but if you look back, you'll see it.
you just said it.
I'm being funny. It's a bit.
All
But
right.
yeah, that guy. I've never lost so much respect for a person in my entire life. The way he treated the woman that was running his restaurant for the last 6 fucking years.
Yeah,
Where and that's the thing. Like anytime I've quit a job where I'm running places and people relying on me, it's like, there's that thing where they're like, "Hey man, awesome for you. Glad you could take on this new job," or maybe they come back with a counter offer and it's like, "Sorry, but I got to move on." And then behind closed doors, they're like, fuck that bitch, fuck that person. I fucking hate him. Can't believe he's doing this to me, blah, blah, blah. You say it behind closed doors. You don't say it to fucking people's face.
right.
You can have emotions behind closed doors, but you should just be happy and proud of people for fucking moving on and taking on
Yeah,
things and shit. And he handled it the wrong fucking way, and it made my asshole itch a lot.
well, all of us. So
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the unfortunate thing when you talk about employees that burn bridges are employees that just don't show up for work one
Yeah.
day or don't come back or whatever. But if somebody gives you 2 weeks,
Yeah. She could have been training as new management and shit.
yeah,
And
it gives you 2 weeks, or like does the appropriate thing that you're supposed to do. Like, hey, I can work for 2 more weeks. You're supposed to be happy for them because they're going to
Yeah.
better themselves. They're doing something different.
Right.
Oh, it sucks I'm losing you, but yeah, if you can, let's find somebody to replace you. And
then
de
you-
facto, exactly what I did.
And then you bitch about it behind
Yeah.
closed doors. You know?
Yeah. And you're like, it's just burning me.
Right.
It's burning me.
Right.
But you'd be happy for him, and and I understand some companies where there can be liabilities to certain situations if you have
Yeah.
an employee still working there for 2 weeks that now they're leaving you so they don't care, and there's ideas like, well, like, now maybe they'll steal, or maybe
Right.
maybe there's going to be not really going to work, or whatever it is.
Well, and like I was operating heavy machinery on a refinery, and whenever I put in my 2 weeks, they're like, actually, if you want, you don't have to fill it out. I'm like, cool, I'll take a little vacation, thanks.
Yeah.
As long as we're leaving amicably, dude. And they're like, yeah, dude, everything's fine. Like, but they don't want somebody having senioritis on their last 2 weeks, not giving a fuck, running heavy equipment around a
Right.
goddamn refinery. Like that's smart. Where you just let them go.
no, yeah, you're good.
And you say it in a nice way. You don't tell them to fuck off,
No.
dude.
Be like, all right, well, I appreciate you giving me 2 weeks, but I really don't want you here the last 2 weeks because, hey, I don't feel like you're going to do your job whole week.
Yeah.
Like, whatever it is. Or, I appreciate it, but my policy is when somebody puts their 2 weeks in, they're just done. That's just how I feel
Yeah.
about things. It's sorry.
Thank you for your service. Good
Yeah.
luck in your future
Yeah.
endeavors.
But if you spend 5-6 years at some place and you
Yeah.
put their 2 weeks in, you expect, and you've done everything right by them,
Yeah.
you expect them to do right by you, too.
I mean, hell, we just at my job we just had a going away party for a guy that's retiring. We didn't
Yeah.
tell him to fuck off.
my
You know?
my company I was leaving, they're like, I told him, and he's like, well, how long give you me? I said, well, I can give you 3 weeks, maybe 4. He goes, they're like, oh, can you give us 4 weeks? I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, how about 3 and 1 week you can just call me when you need to? They're like, deal.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't even give them 2 weeks. I gave them 3 weeks, and they were ecstatic about me giving them extra time.
Yeah.
Obviously, a little bit different industry, a little bit different stuff into that, selling food and having these customers, and you got to get people like used to them and do different things.
Yeah, they really have to have somebody to fill those shoes or take over.
Right.
And because you can't just leave. They can't just be like, fuck you, get out of here. And then like, what are they going to do with those accounts?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's customer service.
Yeah. And my boss knew all my customers that, like, my good customers love the shit out of me. I mean, my last day, and yes, I'm good friends with a lot of people in there and stuff. Millersburg Brewing, my very last stop on Thursday. Shout out to them. They posted on their Facebook story.
Was that this week?
That was this week.
Nice.
Just yesterday.
Yeah.
They had me a good luck cake. Also birthday cake, if you want to call that too.
But that's
With a balloon and like everything. Like, it was my last stop of the day, right?
Yeah.
I handed my laptop and my phone over to the girl that's taking over the account. She's awesome. She trained me, and like she's taking over the account, so I feel like they're in good hands. And then we got to do. They're coming out with a new cerveza. Good God, I gotta remember the name of it. I gotta pull it up real quick. They're coming out with new cervezas, so we put. They had this whole thing set up, which was like, makes you want to be a little teary-eyed that, people care about you that much. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pulling up right now here. Why don't I see it? Oh, I gotta click on that. Anyways, so we did a cerveza testing. There it is. Papichulo. Papichula, which means like hot guy or cool guy.
Yeah.
Which is funny because they gave me the name. Derek gave me the name, and I had to run it by all my Spanish accounts to see if it was cool. And they kind of laughed, and it's kind of like pimp. It's kind of like, what's up, pimp?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, that's not bad. It's not a bad term. But sometimes pimps were referred to as that. I'm like, that's a cool name for a beer then.
It's so fresh, it's not on their tap list yet.
No, they're just finishing canning it and drafting it and everything.
Nice.
So it'll be up, and I think in a week or 2, maybe. Let me see what the post says here. It's coming soon, so it'll be up soon. It's But anyway, so we got to try. They put like samples. So we had Corona, we had Dos Equis, we had Modelo Light, we had Papichulo, and we drank them, and then we tried to pick which one was which.
Okay.
I went 0 for 4 on all of them. I think Derek and Buck, the brewers, Derek's the brewmaster, Buck's the assistant brewer, went like 2 for 4 and 3 for 4 or something.
Yeah.
And Gina, our lovely Gina, who apparently just knows the shit out of Mexican beer.
Yeah.
Tasted the first one and was like, "That's Corona." 4 for 4, just knocked it out of the park.
Hell
I'm like,
yeah.
what the hell, Gina?
Hell yeah.
You drink Coors Light like me, and she knocked it out of the park.
Well, I will say sometimes people that don't drink as much as we do can tell the difference in a lot of shit.
Well, also women have better taste buds and smell than men. That's a proven fact.
Yeah, I mean, if you think back to your instincts, instinctually, they were the foragers, so they can tell. They probably have better flavors about like this berry's rotten, this berry's nice. You know,
they could be able to smell danger.
Yeah,
they be able to smell something's bad.
And us inherently, we just fucking fight.
Yeah, we're just dumb. We're just dumbasses that run against a brick wall.
I can kill the meat for us to eat, and then but you find all the.
You make sure it's good.
Should I eat that plant? No. Obviously, you can't smell that it's poisonous. No, I can't smell it.
That's sexist. I don't even know.
Well, yeah. Somebody somewhere will probably say that's sexist.
I'm
but
sure.
Most most rational people be like, yeah, it's in our genes.
I mean, in a way, it is, and that's why they should have better smell and taste. Because
Yeah.
you know,
'Cause
they have
that's
different
the way it
palates.
was. You can't change history in that aspect.
Yeah, that's why I think there's a lot of badass women chefs that
Oh, fuck yeah.
that aren't credited as much because their palates are more sensitive to a lot of things. I've seen some documentaries on that too, and it's like, no, she's like really good, and especially like when you get into the Asian cultures, they have like that's become an emerging thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
a lot of times they weren't allowed to cook in the restaurants or do that stuff. They weren't allowed to do that shit, and it's like, no, these women are fucking 10 times better. And I'm not saying because it's cooking. I'm just saying they're better chefs.
And before we go too far into that, let's touch back on that. Let's touch back on a male,
Scratch
female.
the last 15 things we said. Let's
but
just scratch the last 20
I
minutes.
just kind of wanted to recap. So I think that's what made that party kind of really awesome is the fact that we had motherfucker turning 40,
Right.
and we had like new beginnings and hope for a lot of people.
Yeah, new
and
jobs.
it was just a good, fun fucking vibe. It was a great fucking party.
Right.
Probably one of the best we've had, in a while. Just
40
turn
years.
out, yeah, in 40 years. But just turn out, food good, people
Good
coming
people.
there.
A lot of good people.
Vibe was awesome. Sometimes, back in our 20s, somebody probably would have started a fight or something. But, now that we're all old balls and shit.
We've just been wasted off their head.
So
and,
many
like,
fucking
passing
hugs.
out in a chair.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I got a picture with, I think almost every
I think your
single
wife made it a
person.
point that you got a single picture with everybody.
Every single person.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she's making a collage or something eventually with that, but it was awesome.
But yeah, I just want to recap that fucking ballin' ass party.
Right.
So then back to, I always thought it was kind of weird in the kitchen industry that it seemed like, especially when I got into it, it's more of a male dominated scene.
Yeah.
And you would think, you hear all the stereotypes, especially when we grew up in the 80s and 90s and shit, that
Yeah.
women belong in the kitchen, men belong in the workforce. And then you go to a workforce kitchen and it's like, why aren't there more women here? It
Right.
seemed like it was weirdly male dominated constantly.
Right.
And it's so weird to think like, yeah, well, women have the better senses of smell and taste and all that shit. And like you said, is it because now all of a sudden we feel bad? It's like, well, no, we don't think women should be in the kitchen. But professionally, maybe?
Yeah, no, that's why I was just trying to walk that back. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
wait a minute, I'm not trying to say that. I don't I do all the cooking at home anyway. So it's my wife cooks some, but for the most part, I'm doing all the cooking. It's and I don't feel that way at all. But it's but when you look at a male dominated thing,
Yeah.
cooking, I mean, you had your outliers, right? Your super famous, good Lord, women chefs that
Yeah.
were crazy good. But I feel still for the most part, it was men decided no, we cook and stuff.
Yeah, because even when you said, there's plenty of famous women chefs, and I'm sitting there thinking, well, I know Kat Cora. I know Giada De Laurentiis. I know...
Where you go old school to the, I'm trying to remember their names, and I'm sorry, it's escaping my mind right now.
But...
I keep wanting to go Julia Childs and
fucking Julia Childs for sure. Martha Stewart.
Martha Stewart, those type of ones, and there's one big one.
But
too,
if you're
I'm
like,
missing.
who are the famous male chefs? You're like, I got a dozen I can rattle.
Well, I
off
got a
the top of my
bunch,
head.
yeah. And they all take different approaches and how they do it,
Yeah.
and all this different stuff.
Fuck, I even know Guy Fieri over probably some way more awesomely renowned female chef
Yeah.
for some reason. It's
Yeah.
it is weird how the culinary world seems to be a male dominated scene, and I don't understand that at all.
Well, I think a lot of that came down to media, right? So media pushed out a lot of that shit. Where
Yeah.
It's hey, look at all these dudes because it's easier to watch them, and everybody would watch them. Over if you put out a Martha Stewart, well, that's only women watching Martha Stewart, right? Where
Yeah.
If you have a dude chef showing you how to cook a bunch of good stuff, it's men and women will watch them because the men are watching them, so the women are going to watch it too. Well, at least the women are oh, I can at least watch this because it's cooking, but You know, and
Well, and I
again,
also
this
feel
is running a fine line of being sexist again, but
This-
I don't know how else to talk about it.
Well, and this is honestly 100% sexist, but it's not our sexist take on it. It's the way
No,
the media
it's the
perceives
way that they
because-
made it.
Because you get Gordon Ramsay in Hell's Kitchen yelling at people. People are like, "This is dramatic. This is awesome. I
Yeah.
fucking love this." But if you would have put that with a chick, I feel like the general populace would be like, "Why is she being such a bitch?" You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like, and the
And you had to be British,
It's not
too.
us. We're not the ones that signed any of these people. We didn't give them the deals or anything like that. So we're not the sexist people. But that's the way the fucking media is run. We're like, well, a guy out there,
And he had to be British too.
Yeah.
He couldn't be American. It was American yelling at
you're
people
an
like-
idiot sandwich. You know? Like,
It's just American being like, "You dumb motherfucker, what are
Yeah.
you doing?" And everybody be like, "Whoa, whoa, ease up,
Yeah,
buddy, ease
yeah.
up, ease up." Now
Yeah.
it's British. It's like, oh no, they're just generally mean. It's fine.
but like if you look at all the famous women cooking shows, it's always nice, good, awesome, chill vibes and shit.
Yeah.
Because if you put some lady in there shouting, and people are like, I don't trust this bitch or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's I don't know.
Do you still watch a lot of cooking shows?
No, I never have.
I like watching cooking shows, competition shows. I know it's a lot of drama and stuff, but like they have that. There's some fun ones out there. Like I like the barbecue showdown shows and stuff like that, where they have like it's just legit, like kind of straight up. There's not really big. I love Cutthroat Kitchen with Alton Brown.
Yeah,
That's one of my favorites because it's just goofy. Because it's like you can bid on this and make everybody cut their stuff with this, and it's like, oh man, how would you handle that situation? Or you got to like use these different ingredients and like, yeah, what's the other ingredient basket one? Not Cutthroat Kitchen. It's mystery basket one. The
yeah, and they have the master chefs or whatever.
yeah, judging and doing all that. But
Well, because they always had 4 master chefs, and like you're going up against this guy today, and you have to fuck. It's
no, this was just like they
Oh.
just have 4 regular cooks, chefs, whatever. Come on, open the basket, and it's always themed or whatever. And you gotta start with an appetizer, and then you do an entree, and then you do a dessert, and everybody gets eliminated round by round. Good Lord, how can I think of it right now?
yeah. So
But it's just good to put on the background.
So I don't like watching a lot of cooking shows in general now because they've all turned into like reality competition shows, and I'm not a big fan of reality TV. What I will say is I watch a lot of cooking TikToks. Chopped, yeah. I like a lot of reality TikToks, and there's this girl, she's actually a personal chef
Yeah.
for somebody, and they allow her to record her TikToks in their kitchen while she's cooking for them and shit. So she makes really fucking good food. She does all the technique and everything that I learned in like the highest level restaurant I worked at, but she's doing it on a low scale and then records these TikToks. Her name's Olivia and I think that's just her screen name, but she does great fucking work, and like she's got like the dream job that I think like, man, I would fucking love to do what
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
doing. Like
Show up at somebody's house and get paid like 10 grand to
I
go
watched
cook
the
for people.
fuck out of her. Her food is so good, so amazing. Like, so I do like female chefs and shit. I just don't like reality TV cooking shows. I watch a lot more cooking shit on
Well, that's
TikTok.
that's why I think like Chopped and like especially not Kitchen Nightmares, Cutthroat Kitchen is just funny to me because it's not about drama, it's not about bullshit. It's just more like, hey, what happens if you have to cook with the tiniest frying pan ever, and I need an eggs Benedict, and then trying to watch them figure it out. But Alton Brown, even in like backstage, was like, I've used all this, everything I bring out, I test it first to see how it can be done. And he's like, and I go through all these trials to make sure that you can actually do it
Yeah.
and do it successfully enough to make a good dish. So,
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Live for Pasta is her account.
I'll live for pasta. Okay.
Yeah. If you're watching,
She got a Millie Folly. She's doing all right.
yeah, yeah. And like I said, she makes
And she's
amazing
cute.
food. Yeah.
Oh.
She's not bad looking. She flips off the camera and shit. She's a chef.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's got that total chef vibe.
She's
And
getting hired by Deshaun Watson. Got it.
And I mean, I would watch any of these videos right now, but I don't know if we would really want to turn this into a clip show. But check that
borderline and some stuff.
check that account out for sure because she does really good shit, like awesome shit. So,
but yeah. Anyways, besides the cooking stuff, when we talked about the party, and then now like things are just getting insane. I'm starting a whole house renovation.
yeah.
I'm doing an addition house. I don't remember.
Yeah, not even a little one.
No, it's massive.
Not like you're adding like, oh wait, we're gonna put a bathroom over here,
just a
where that
garage.
closet used to be.
I'm doing a garage with a master bedroom suite above it, and then I'm doing 2-3 bedrooms and blowing out the kitchen and like doing all this crazy stuff.
Yeah,
It's a big project. Luckily, like I don't know yet, but I feel like the stars are aligning for me and all this stuff.
yeah,
Knock on wood, like everything, like I found, I think amazing contractor. I found the best bank I think I could fucking possibly find.
right.
And I found a pretty good architect already. So I'm hoping by the end of the summer, I want to have double my house essentially put on my house.
We'll throw another party, housewarming bitch up.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, hopefully by my kid's birthday.
Yeah.
You know, on September 21.
Yeah.
That I'll have a beautiful house laid out.
Hell yeah.
We can have a nice big party in the garage and everything's redone. I mean, it's like taking my small house of about 900 square feet.
Yeah.
And just
Yeah.
ripping it apart and exploding it.
Yeah.
And doing some work to it. So
because it's a beautiful spot on the fucking lake, man.
I know. It's been a long time coming. My wife's been wanting me to do it for the last 3 years, but I said we're not ready. We're not ready. You know, we gotta get to a financial point that I felt ready. So it's kind of like, you know, tucking some money away, doing whatever, getting completely debt free, doing everything you need to do.
Right.
To where it's like, okay, now we're ready. And I feel like we're ready, and I feel like all those stars are aligning. I think the market's even crashing for me right now.
Yeah. So when you finally
get my percentage down,
when you
like,
finally sign that loan, you'll get a lower than fucking 7. You know,
I've always felt this way through most of my life. It's like, you know, I go through some bad times and some rough times and some like money pinching times, and I've always had that. And when I feel like I'm kind of at a bad spot where I'm like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. Like, what am I going to do? Like, how am I going to get some extra money? Like, I just need like a little bit of a break. The universe provides.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, hey, you need a little something? I got you, Bob.
we'll figure it out.
And then I get wham, wham, wham. I get helped out.
Job opportunity.
I get helped out. And I get back on track. And now I know. A little bit later. Oh, hang on, buddy. You're sitting too easy. Hang on.
And I'm not gonna
I'm about to knock you down one peg real quick.
I'm not even gonna throw out names or anything, but like an old high school chum hooks you up. It's like, I'm a contractor, and of course we can fucking do this better than you even thought. And you're like, holy fuck. Like,
yeah, I'm just like, okay.
And you're like, okay, well, what's the bank gonna say? And you were telling me and shit, like without getting into too many terms and shit. Like you were telling me your shit, and I'm like, fuck, dude, that's awesome.
Well, I'm in the middle of changing jobs, and like I'm calling all these different banks, and they're getting all these different loan approvals and offers and stuff, and
because if they see a change in employment, a lot of them don't like that and stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, well, I'm changing jobs. Like, what are we gonna do with that? And blah blah blah. And then, you know, my neighbor tells me bank. He's like, I always had a really good time with them. Like, they were always really good. And I call them up, and they give me like the stupidest, most easy, most like, you know, commercial saving banks. I'll call them out here
CSB.
in Ohio.
Yeah.
Commercial saving bank. Like, talk to my boy Daniel there. I don't think he's gonna mind. I shout his name. I won't give his last name, but talk to my boy Daniel there. Awesome dude. I text him. I can text him anything.
Yeah.
Like, that's just new age shit. Like, I text him. I get real conversation with the dude. I'm not dealing with an app. I'm not dealing with anything. It's just like, that's what you want when you're dealing with a big loan like this.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, maybe you haven't had to deal with a big, because when did you buy your house?
Oh God, it was 2013, I think.
Yeah, because even when we
12 years ago,
and it's weird how they change with the times. Because even when we bought this bitch, we had our loan officer, shout out Corey Parker at First Federal. Like, he was always text.
Yeah.
Real cool about email. It never had to call. He even was just like, and then he came to our house to like sign papers here.
Yeah.
It's like,
He's like,
cool, man. That's
he's
fucking
like, you
awesome.
text me anytime. I don't give a shit. He's like,
Yeah, I'll come to you and
Yeah, it
shit.
doesn't matter. Like, he's like, whatever. Like, it's my business. I'm like, I get it. Because he's just, and that's when you know somebody's a part of their business.
Right.
They don't care. They're like, no. It takes me 2 seconds to text somebody. Some people are like, oh, you're texting me at 6 o'clock at night. And
Yeah.
like, no. It's like, if I don't want to answer it, I don't answer it. Like, but I will text you back when I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, I got a minute. Let me text these people back. Right? All right, done.
And
Like,
it
it doesn't take time out of your life. And it's like, these people are annoying me. Shut your phone off. Put it on silent.
Yeah.
Like, what are you worried about? Like,
Yeah.
what? People get all up in arms like, oh, I'm getting calls at 7 o'clock. It's like, okay, well, then shut your phone off.
Yeah.
Quit.
I literally,
It interrupted your TikTok. I'm sorry.
I have mine set up that it goes dark. It goes into bedtime mode at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
8 o'clock, and then it goes off bedtime mode at 5 because I wake up at like 3:30 and 4 and shit, and it's like it's one of those things too. Like, I'll get a bunch of text messages or this, that, and the other, and it's like, so I just wake up the next day, and if it's and it's funny because if it's somebody that I understand, it's like I'll text them at like 8 when I know they're awake, you know. But if it's somebody else that like, I don't fucking like you, guess what? Oh, you tried to text me at 9 when I'm sleeping. I'm gonna say, oh, sorry, I didn't see your text. I was asleep at 3:30 in the fucking morning when I wake up. Like,
I will put out a little like PSA if you're doing a big remodel on your house, addition
Yeah.
on your house. But it's not just something simple like, oh, we're just gonna add 1 bedroom off the side of the house. That's fine. You don't have to worry about what I'm about to tell you. But if you're going like up and down and left and right, like I'm doing new foundation stuff, start with a architect, designer first, and then move into everything else because you need those plans before
Okay.
you do anything else.
because you started with a contractor,
I
right?
started with a contractor. Got the contractor kind of figured out. Well, I was like, I think I'm going to go with this guy, but I'm going to talk to these other 4 contractors. And in the middle of that, I got the bank figured out. I mean, obviously, you could start with the bank first too, and just
Yeah.
make sure you can do what you can do.
Pre-approved.
Bank's probably the best place to start. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
get a pre-approval for a loan. That's where we started.
Actually,
when we
I would
looked at
start with the
houses.
bank. I would start with
Yeah.
the bank and then see who they recommend.
It takes nothing. It's not even a hard credit pull for them to pre-approve
No.
for a lot of shit.
But once they did pull my credit, oh, damn it. And this is, I think we did talk about this before because they pulled my credit and I'm getting spam called to hell and back
Yeah.
from all the banks
Did your
in
score,
the entire
did your
world.
score drop from that hard pull too?
Just a little bit, but
Fuck, dude. Get your shit if anything, get your shit figured out before you find a car, because they'll hard pull you like 6 times to try and find you the lowest rate, and those 6 fucking pulls will tank. Well, not necessarily tank, but you'll drop like 50 fucking points.
yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, when, I'll still be way up there. It's okay. My credit pretty good.
Yeah, it's
all right.
it's such a weird thing. Like, I
It's such
remember
a stupid thing. So basically,
when you were kids, you were bragging about your kicks. You
Yeah.
were bragging about your shoes.
yeah,
What
now we got
concert
to
you
worry
just
about
go
our
to?
we got to worry about our credit being over a certain
Now
amount.
it's like oh,
But the stupid thing
you're a
is,
793. You ain't even 800.
we get all these free credit services, and you're like, oh yeah, you can go just check your score anytime. Be like,
Yeah.
yeah, that looks pretty good. They sold my shit. They absolutely, when my bank
Oh yeah,
pulled the credit to check me and do all that stuff and pre-auth me,
yeah,
that credit, whatever, they may have ran it through 3 different credit companies, whatever.
yeah,
They sold my information off,
yeah.
and I got 50 calls in one day from different banks.
Yeah.
50.
Oh, and you'll get the letters.
50.
You'll get the letters in the mail.
It's died off now, which has been great.
And one thing that there's a lot of guys at work that they talk about all the spam calls they get, and I'm like, answer it. Like, no, I ain't fucking answering it. It's spam.
I was messing with so
I
many
was like,
people.
dude. Well, you can have a good time,
Yeah.
or you can simply answer it, and they'll, hey, you want to blah 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 blah. I'm like, no. Could you please take me off your call list? And 90% of the time they're like, okay, we'll do, and then that's it. Sometimes they'll be like, well, are you sure you don't want to hear about this offer? I'm like, no, just take me off your call list. And the more you start telling them to take you off their call list, that goes to other call lists, and it kind of spreads out. I don't get a lot anymore because I kept answering them for the longest time. Say, take me off the list.
Yeah,
And that one sentence will, before they even get into their spiel, will save you a lot of the future ones.
I was getting on there messing with them, and then they keep pushing me to their supervisors.
Yeah.
So, like, if you get in there and fuck with them for a little bit, they'd just be like, hang on one second, sir, and they just push you to supervisor. And be like, hello, this is Mr. Cody Adams. How are you doing today? I'm like, all right. I was just trolling that guy for a while, just trying to brighten somebody's day. And like, oh, I appreciate you to brighten somebody's day. Okay. Well, he's trying to call you out this bank. I'm like, yeah, I'm not interested. I'm already locked in and all this. So I'm like, I don't want to waste your time or anybody's time. So you can take me off whatever list you got, if that's okay with you. And they're like, yeah, no, we understand. And thank you for just trying to brighten someone's day, and you have a good day. It's done. Like, but now they just kick you to a supervisor. I'm like, you don't even want to troll with me for a little bit. They're like, no, I'm trying to make money.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make money. I'm trying to close a deal here.
That's also one thing I like about Google services is I've got my Google Assistant set up to it'll answer the phone call from any unknown number, and in a robot voice be like, the person you are trying to reach is screening their phone calls for blah 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 blah. And a short sentence, say what you are calling about. 9 times out of 10, they don't answer. I get a very silent notification saying you missed a possible scam call. Would you like to see, the printout of what was said? And it shows the robot voice saying its thing, and then nobody responding. I'm like, okay, block number. But then that also helps because there are, in my line of work, I hand out business cards with my personal cell phone number. So if anybody's having issues with a machine, they'll be like, yeah, this is so-and-so from such and such. It's about our machine, and then like,
oh, that's a real one.
And then Google will force push notification to me saying this number's calling about, and it shows that, the type out of what they said.
Machine.
Sorry, excuse me.
Calling about Bert Kreischer?
I'm like, all right, cool, yeah. Put them through. I'm like, hello, this is Steven. Yeah, how can I help you? But it's so fucking cool. Like, AI answers my shit for me now. Oh, yeah. It's so fucking dope. Like, I got a little assistant.
Oh, we're back to AI again.
Back to fucking, yeah. It's gonna take over the world.
Yeah, I just feel like it's gonna be a really busy summer for all of us,
dude. I feel like,
but it's all for the good. I think everything's gonna be for the good. Just got a good feeling about everything, and I'm probably gonna get struck by lightning when I walk out to my car at night. But
nah, man, like I'm always a very positive person. I've been told I have golden retriever energy, or like SpongeBob energy and shit.
Right.
And I just, so far with what's going on this year, I've seen a lot of hope and like just new beginnings and like cool shit happening for all of us. And it's so fun to see like the people around you that you love so much like grow with you and shit. Like we've all been in that point fucking years ago where it's like, oh man, you got like $5? I don't have any money for cigarettes. Like, yeah. Well, I got change here. Like, hey, you guys, we can go buy a pack of cigarettes. And then we sit there and like bum smokes, share a pack of smokes and shit.
Oh,
and, like,
man, I got nothing.
How are we gonna party tonight? Oh, it's cool. I'll make some tips tonight. All right, my paycheck hits next week. I'll get the bottle next week. You get it. You get it today.
Now we're like, you want to run a party bus? Yeah, let's do that. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
no, but you're supposed to get that way as you get older. It's supposed to be an evolution of you making more and more money until you eventually hit that age gap where it's like, no, man, you're done.
Yeah,
you're done. You can't do it anymore.
Yeah. Well, and it's it's just part of growing. I have neighbors, fucking love them, the best neighbors in the world. And I was out there talking to them, and we were bullshitting about like the deck. Our deck's good. It's a good deck, but it's
good dick.
It's gonna need like kind of redone here soon because like the boards are kind of weathering and shit.
Yeah.
And we were talking because they just built their house down there, And so we were kind of going through like, is it weird getting a contractor? And now I'm going to be able to talk to you about this shit.
Got you handled.
And I'm like, I mean, I could build my fucking deck. And he's like, yeah, but you don't want to be out there building a deck when you're 40. They're younger than me. And I'm like, oh, I already am 40. he's like, oh shit, I didn't mean anything. I know you didn't mean anything by it, but yeah, I don't want to be out there building it, but I could. There's still a man in me. It's like I could build that fucking deck.
That deck, get out of my face.
I think me and Sarah were talking about redoing it. She's like, yeah, no, we're hiring somebody for that. And I mean, it was like, what? You don't think I can build a deck?
We call up the crew and we build it.
Think I can't build a deck?
We put the minds together and we build
Yeah,
it.
just fucking wood. I can nail and screw wood together. I can measure it out and cut it. I have tape measures, saws. I can do all that.
He's
But
a
then the more I
piece
think about it, it's like, oh man, if I could just fucking throw some money at it, it sounds dope too.
Right.
Like that sounds way cooler.
Yeah.
Now, like with your addition, it's like, well, I don't know shit about
I don't know
foundations.
anything about trusses and roofs and all that stuff. I get the general principle.
We
of
could
it,
build
but-
your garage out there, but tying into the house and making that one
Yeah.
cohesive action, I don't know how to do that.
I'd rather pay somebody a good amount of money
Yeah.
to do it for me. So
That old house, I fucking, well, with the help of a lot of family members and shit, thank you for all them. I'm not slighting you, but it's like, yeah, man, I built that fucking 30 by 40 garage, man, with the help of a lot of friends. But we were also in our fucking 30s then,
Yeah. That's the Amish community, right? You get enough people together, and know
Yeah.
enough about it, a little bit about enough, and be like,
Yeah.
"No, that's how you do it." And you put it like this, and then you just throw a bunch of people up. What's my job? You go and hold the peak, dude. You hold the peak. That's all you gotta do.
There's a couple young kids. There's two of them. They're both named Levi that I work with. Shout out to the pair of Levi's, to the pair of jeans. They both recently got into car stereos, and the one started it, and I was like, "Yeah, man, fucking buy your shit, bring it over. I'll show you how to install it." And my whole thing was like, "You bring it over. You can use my tools in my garage and my shit. You're gonna do the work, but I'm just there to consult."
Right.
And then he ended up like Googling shit and do it himself. I'm like, yeah, man, I told you it's not that hard. He's like, and he figured it out himself. So he has like kind of like, I did it myself. I'm like, fuck yeah,
Right.
dude. And then the other Levi too was like, he's like, yeah, I'm buying subs. I'm doing this and this, that, and the other. He's like, so I might have to like, call you up and like, hey, I'm coming over. I got a case of beer. Will you help me? I'm like, yeah, man, I'll help you install that. And I was like, wait, let me rephrase that. I'll tell you how to install it.
I'm not doing that anymore. Yeah.
You'll do all the work, but I will show you how to do it right.
Let me guide you down the path.
Yeah. You're buying that case of beer for consulting work now.
Blue jean washing.
Yeah. I'm not fucking doing it.
Anywho,
Yeah, man.
did you have anything special you want to talk about?
I want to talk about how methylene blue's changing my life.
Yeah.
That's another new
You're
thing.
peeing green,
Yeah.
peeing blue.
I won't get too hard into it, but
We're not doctors. We're not physicists. We're
Yes.
physicists.
And it's funny-
Psychiatrists.
I don't know. Check out YouTube. Check out a lot of shit. You can find a lot of videos on it. I've watched a few.
Do your
and-
research on it. But,
Yeah, and they all start out with like, I'm no doctor or no physician, but this is my experience with
that's what
methylene
you're
blue.
supposed to say with everything because
Yeah.
you can't promote anything.
We're
that-
not doctors. We're not physicians. We're not telling you how to live your life or doing any recommendations. But if methylene blue works for you, it works for me.
Yeah,
man.
I kind of started with it. Obviously, caught it on like the Rogan podcast
Yeah.
a little bit, and then my TikTok feed got blown up with it. And I tried to do as much research in D&D as I could on it.
Yeah.
Like he says on there, it was a blue gene dye, but it's the I don't even know like the derivative of where it kind of comes from.
Yeah.
But, so it's actually used in the medical profession, though.
Yeah.
They use it medically for people that cannot. I forget what it's like a rare disease, but they can't get enough oxygen into their red blood cells to stimulate their immune system or something like
Yeah.
that. If I'm recalling this correctly, I apologize if I'm fumbling this, but so I was looking at like what are the side effects, what's bad about it. There's nothing reported bad.
You piss blue,
Yeah, piss blue
which if you're dehydrated, it comes out green.
yeah. Or green, green, depending on how much you take, right? Like so,
It's like an aqua color. Yeah.
I don't take a whole lot of it. I do like 5 drops in a pint of water,
Yeah.
and I chug that, or not even a pint, probably 60 ounce water, whatever. It's a pint.
Yeah.
and I I chug that, and then I take my medication, and I think we talked about that before, kind of how I started it.
It just kind of wakes you up.
Yeah, but I told you about it, and I've told some people about it. I'm like, I just feel like it takes a lot of the brain fog away, and it kind of just makes you a little clickier. It's not fucking life changing. Oh my god, everything's amazing.
And for me, it kills some anxiety.
Yeah, me too. It kills a lot for me.
I noticed I had an 8-hour drive from South Carolina this week. Well, to and from. But I even noticed, like, you know, like I always set my cruise control like maybe 8 over the speed limit. So if it's 70, I'm doing 78.
Yeah.
Cops never fuck with it. I've never been pulled over for 78 and a 70.
Right.
But every time I saw a cop, it's like my heart would sink. I'd have to, you know, tap the brake, cancel the cruise control, bring it back down to 70, which they already would have had me.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's just like, oh, fuck, yeah, there's a cop there. Cool. I don't freak out.
Yeah.
I used to be like, I'd pack my toolbox and all my shit in the car because I'm doing a long trip. And I'd be like, oh, fuck, I'm forgetting something. And I'd have to pull over. I'd get on an off-ramp, pull off to the side, go back, look, okay, my toolbox is there. My backpack's here. Oh, my laptop is in the backpack. Like, what? I knew I put it there, but did I? I haven't had any of that since.
Takes that little anxiety bug that's in your head.
Pulls the edge off,
if
man.
if you get scared, like maybe you have like a fear of heights, or you have something.
Yeah.
That takes that little edge off of, I'm gonna die or I'm gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
And it just like, no, I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm all right. It's okay. It's not
you
bad.
might get chewed
It's
out.
not up.
I've been chewed out before.
Especially nowadays, because I feel like people have way more anxiety than they ever had in the entire existence of the world.
And if you look at the videos, they say like it's good for your mitochondria and it's that and the other. It's supposed to be good for longevity as well.
Some things you're not allowed to take it with, so make sure, like, if you're listening to this or whatever, you do your research.
SSRIs, do not take it with SSRIs. That's the one thing that I saw a lot of.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
Which that's more antidepressant, I think it's SSRIs.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's going to boost it even more. It's like,
Yeah.
it's going to boost you into being like...
Because that's the other thing, like, I think it was Gary Brecka's TikToks I saw. It's like, yeah, people are taking vitamins, but they're not methylated. But if you take methylene blue, it helps methylate the vitamins. And it's like, and it's helped, you know, because your blood vessels carry more oxygen. It's also carrying all these other things. So the vitamin C that you take may not have been bioavailable, but now it's more bioavailable because it's delivering it to your cells and all this other shit.
I think that's the kicker on top of mine, because I have that with my, you know, L-theanine, blah, 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 Escondwin, all this stuff. And then my meds one a day, and I take all that together, and then
you're getting
about an hour later, I'm like, I'm feeling good.
Getting all them fucking vitamins.
I could be hungover, and I'm like, I'm back, baby. What do you need? And just drinking some water, just crushing some water. I'm like, I feel fantastic right now.
Yeah.
I feel fantastic right now.
It's dope.
My face doesn't look like it's my eyes are still tired and shit, like, you know, sleep. But I'm like, I feel fantastic.
The one thing I saw too is it changes like your something about photoresistance or something. So red light therapy, have you heard of that?
Yeah.
It's supposed to help with your skin and all this shit.
Yeah.
And they're like, if you do the methylene blue and you do red light therapy, it's supposed to like kickstart that. And so I don't do red light therapy.
Yeah, I'm not saying much of red lights, but it's just
but I do tan.
Yeah.
And I noticed after being on it, I hit the tanning booth like on Tuesday, and my normal time, my face was like beet red. It's like, oh shit, maybe I need to take the sunlight down, or you know, the tanning down a little bit. Be a little more conscious about the light hitting me, because it's letting it.
A bad summer, burn in the sun. That'll be my bad thing. All right, that'll be my bad thing. I'm gonna crisp in the sun.
Yeah.
I'm about to sit in the shade the whole time.
Or you just you know.
That's what I get. That's
you
what I get.
You lotion up a little extra.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Just lotion up a little more.
A little red sunburn.
Be a little more conscious
Ain't no
about
problem.
lotioning up. That's
Ain't
it.
no problem.
Or you just like, the whole reason I tan is so that I don't have to lotion up in the summertime.
All right, brother.
But yeah, we've probably rambled on long enough.
Let's. Did you have yourself a damn good time?
I did have myself a damn good time. Did you have a damn good time?
I had a damn good time.
And we hope that you guys also had a damn good time as well. Be sure to click like and subscribe. We've been posting a whole lot more on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Facebook, Instagram. Follow us on all those platforms. And be sure to drop likes. There's some motherfuckers out there giving us dislikes for some reason.
Hey,
But whatever.
they just jelly.
Yeah. Hate us because it
They
ain't
ain't
us.
us.
Yeah. But other than that, man, I fucking love you.
Love you.
Love you guys at home. And we'll see you next week.
It's a damn good time.